This is our 5th video in the Scale of Rigidness series. Basically, we're going to go over our PT-43 Crepe FineLine tapes and help explain why they belong in the scale of rigidness and kind of why they're different, meaning the structure of them and what happens when you use a crepe tape. Or the misconception of maybe a crepe works better for someone else than a vinyl. We've explained all of the scale of rigidness in our vinyl, so now we're going to explain to you what a crepe tape is, how it works, and what the actual structure of it is. Basically, with our PT-43 crepe tapes, or matter of fact, let's talk about any crepe tapes in the whole entire industry. What you're going to see with any crepe tape, if you look at it through a microscope, is what you're going to see is, or a magnifying glass, sorry, you're going to actually see a whole bunch of crossweave fibers like this. In those crossweave fibers, you're going to see glue pushed up in those. And then what happens is when we slit that tape and we convert it onto a roll, what you get is microscopic holes along the edge with adhesive. So depending on how tight those fibers are, which with our PT-43, we actually tighten those up to get a cleaner paint edge. So what you're going to see in the grand scheme of things is you're going to see when people say, oh, I might have had bleed through on a crepe tape. What they're really talking about is actually not bleed through the surface, but what happens is paint itself could have tendency to wick through the sides of the fibers and push down through the adhesive. So we want to make sure that you guys understand using the right tool for the right job can be either your success or your failure. We're here to help make it success. So our dead stretch, what we talked earlier about, dead stretch is something that is basically installed to almost all crepe tapes. What we call dead stretch is the simple factor that when you're doing a corner or an edge, or a radius, when you're doing a radius, this is considered to have no major memory in it. So what happens is the liner itself of crepe tapes can never expand and contract or pull and tighten. With vinyls, you do have that, and that's why we have that different scale of rigidness. However, it is important to know that crepe tape's dead stretch can also work against you. So be mindful about the tools that you're using for the job you want to create. One of those things about a dead stretch is, even though you can manipulate and curve and run a tape, if you run too tight of a radius, you can actually see here, there's actually a split in the tape. Because it does not stretch, you can only manipulate a dead stretch product so far before it actually tears. This can be the weakness in any paint job. So be careful about when you're doing graphic layout or what you're doing as far as the job you're trying to create. Be careful that you're mindful of your dead stretch products, you're mindful of the pliability that you're using, and you're mindful about what products you're actually painting on here, because we did talk about wicking of crepes. So even though we can limit those things, this is why the world has gone to a lot of vinyl tape industry, creating very clean, sharp, defined lines. So we try to give you the best quality we can in a crepe tape, our PT-43. And other than that, we have all of our scale of rigidness of vinyls. So remember, guys, our PT-43 has its place in the scale of rigidness, and all crepe tapes have their place in the scale of rigidness, so be mindful about the jobs you're trying to create and the artwork you're trying to produce. They do have their place, as well as different scale of rigidness vinyls. As well as, if you are a big crepe tape fan, be on the lookout for our micro tape, which is part of our PT-43 series. Absolute phenomenal tape, super micro, very, very thin tape. Fun to use to create all kinds of cool graphics and techniques. Until then, man, FBS, we'll catch you on the flip side, and we hope you like and subscribe and enjoyed these videos like many others. Peace.